Well, to discuss what all this means for India's economy going forward, I'm joined by Devesh Kapur. He's director of the Center for the Advanced Study of India at the University of Pennsylvania. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, how would you describe India's current economic relationship with the other BRICS members, and especially China, in light of the border dispute?
Well, China is India's largest trade partner, but India has a very substantial trade deficit with China. It's about $50 billion last couple of years, and over the last 7 years, it's been almost $290 billion. So it's a very asymmetric trade relationship.
And what about the other BRICS countries? What does that trade relationship look like?
So India has small trade deficits with Russia, with Brazil and South Africa, but the one with China, is very, very different
Now,
in terms of its size.
Right. Now let's look at India's economy. One of several major initiatives to really boost the economy was Make in India, which we saw launched back in 2014. What sort of progress have we seen, and what role does that really play in reshaping India's economy?
Well, the results on that up till now have been fairly modest, and one factor at least might be that the very substantial imports of manufactured goods from China just makes it harder to establish a robust manufacturing sector within the country. So the results have not been as strong as one would have hoped for.
Now, another area we're seeing more exploration is the space program. How important is that to the country's economic growth?
No, I think the space program is not, it does provide benefits that are economy-wide, from remote sensing to communications and weather forecasting. But in terms of its direct financial and commercial impact, the budget of the space program is about $1.3, $1.4 billion in a $2 trillion economy. So it really can't be that large a deal.
Now, some estimate that India later this century may become the world's largest economy. What are the factors that need to happen in order for that to take place?
Well, by next decade, India will be the largest country by population. But I think it needs to do at least 5 things if it is to grow as robustly as China has grown. One is it needs to substantially improve its investments in human capital, both education and health. Second, and this it must borrow from China, which is the labor force participation of women in India is extremely low. And Mao had once said that women uphold half the sky, and that's certainly not the case with India. The third is, a big part of growth comes from a very robust sort of urban sector. And while India is urbanizing, fairly rapidly, the quality of urban governance is poor. So urban areas and cities, which should be the center of economic dynamism, that's not yet been the case. Then I think the 2 other things which it needs to do is, India is a natural resource constrained country, and it will face severe challenges, especially in water because of climate change. So it needs to handle that crisis much better. And last is to improve the quality of governance. By and large, the Indian bureaucracy, its public institutions, they need to improve much more rapidly if India is to realize its economic potential.
All right, well, thank you so much for your insights, Devesh Kapur, Director of the Center for the Advanced Study of India at the University of Pennsylvania.